Okay. Okay. Dennoch hat sich angehoben a Serie von Schlagen und Patschen jeder einer, was hat etwas Scheiches zu der verschwundenen Mädele und zugelegte Hand und nicht gejallet. So this is dennoch after Zivke's mother was attacking him. Now that this is the dennoch. Afterwards, there was a series of beatings and hitting, and anyone that had any kind of relationship, any kind of connection to the disappeared girl, put a hand on Moisheke and didn't save it, didn't spare it. They gave him good. Sie ist dort sich Moisheke verentfert, als nicht ist schuldig. Uselessly, Moisheke responded that he is not to be blamed. No, the Zigeuner, those Malpele, only the gypsies, the monkey, the Katerinke, that musical instrument. Is doch noch a Kleiniker is he is but only a little one is he. So it need geholfen, it didn't help, and they continued attacking him. In der erster heißer Show haben alle zerkochte Herzer gemusst, haben immerzu auf Wemmen auszulassen dem Chaos. In the first hot hour, all the boiling hearts, that all the anger people had to have someone to take their anger out on. Otman is ausgelosen zu Moshe, so they took it out on Mosheke. Einmal für allemal, one time for all times. Was ob als Mamser zu schleppen fremde Mädelach hinter dem Stroh? What business does he have? He, such a Mamser, such an illegitimate child like him, what kind of business does he have to drag strange girls behind the town? Amai is in Schulgas nicht antlaufen zurück, wie andere Kinder oben getan, getan, wie Vigdas Yosem lot getan. How come he did not run back to at the end of the synagogue, the synagogue street, like other kids did, like other kids ran back? Why didn't he run back like the others? Why did he continue going with the gypsies? Why didn't he do what the Vigdas often did? Remember, Vigdas often ran back. Why did Moshe go forward? Donke Vigdas hat sich doch bei ihm gebeten, soll laufen zurück. But Donke, Vigdas' son, begged him he should run back, but he didn't.
So start there.
Yeah. Amai. Why and why? They asking him why and why. Und geht erzählt sie, die Beseiden und nicht als weiß allein nicht, was mit dem ist gewesen. Don't tell them that he himself doesn't know what was with him. Als man dem a Kischef angetan mit Schmeichelach, mit Wungelach und mit Nisselach, that they made magic, yeah, like they bewitched him with smiles and with winking and with nods. Was die alte Zigeunerke hat ihm gegeben vor der Malpele. The Nisalach, the nuts that the old gypsy woman gave him for the gypsy. She bewitched him with that, with those nuts. Die etliche kindersche Wörter ist in verblutigen Mäul und verkrampften Hals seinen Gewinn zu schwach und zu nichtig, gegen als solche Arbeiteines von der Erwachsene. He is totally incompetent to fight them. The few childish words in his bloody mouth and in his spasming throat were so too weak to stand against such difficult complaints from the grown-ups. In der ersten heißer Show, wo na viele Kiewe und Schere geschlagen, this is terrible, in that first hour, even Kiewe and Schere, right? His parents, they even beat him up, or or maybe they just pretended to beat him up as they show. They pretended that they were beating him up. Now, this is Schnell saying, אפשר haben sie das getan, כדי überzubeten Zipkes unglückliche Eltern und damit Tage geraten wird ihm von fremde schwere Hand. Maybe they did it, they beat him up, to compensate the parents of Zipke, Zipke's unhappy parents, and by them beating him up, they meant to save him, to spare him from being beaten up by strangers. Schwere Hand. Fremde schwere Hand, from hands, they try to protect him from strange and heavy hands of others. Warum hat gewollt zerreißen auf Sticker dem kleinen Pfarrführer? Because they wanted to tear him up to pieces, this little misleader, somebody that misleads you. What do you say it in English? Verführer is somebody that misleads you. Anyway, später ein bisschen, wenn die zerhitzte Gemüter haben sich ein bisschen beruhigt, a little later, when the hot moods or heated moods calm down a little, hat Moisheke genommen auf ein Verheer, der klickste Schochen, Moisheke took for hearing, this is ironic, the smartest neighbor von Zavulek. Nicht kein ander, nobody but, who's the smarter one? Nicht kein ander wie der Waldseucher. Not only but Victor, the timber merchant, der größere Jaden in zigeunerische Sachen, the big connoisseur Yaden is connoisseur, somebody that knows, the bigger connoisseur about gypsy issues. You know, he was saying before that he knows how they are in the forest. So now he is volunteering that Victor more information about gypsies, and all this information is totally useless, and Schneo is making fun of him, really. And this is what wenn ein nemeser Detektiv oder beim zerschrockenen Modulnik ausgefragt jeder Pizzele und jeder Breckel. Like a real detective, he was trying to find out from the frightened boy. He was trying to find out every pixel, every detail, every little detail, every little thing about the gypsies, like it's gonna help. Where, for instance, is der zigeunerische Wogen gestanden im Feld? Where did the wagon of the gypsies stood in the field? That's important, yeah. Wie so ist abgefahren auf den Schliach und wie hat sich ausgekehrt auf zurück? How did he travel on the path or on the road, and how was he able to steer back, to turn back from there? Und was verrat nur es jetzt wieder Zigeuner hat gemacht, beschaß reinhappen Zipken in Beut, and what kind of movements or grimacing did each gypsy make while kidnapping Sipke into the wagon? That was important to know what kind of moves the gypsies were making. Now this is Schneo saying, als solche Sachen, was haben sei dem gefragten Moschke, sei die Zuhörer gesehen übrig und nichtig. All such things that look to Moschke, who was already kind of burnt out of questions, and those that were listening, all those questions looked unnecessary, useless and unnecessary. No, Victor hat sich auf Moschken angesetzt. So nobody wants to hear this question, but Victor ganged up on Moschken. Why? Now he explains why he's asking so much. Was mehr macht beweist, als solche Einzelheiten als leichter wird sein zu gewinnen die Genovim. This is what he explains. The more we'll know about such little details that I, Victor, am asking about, the more the easier it will be to find the thieves. So therefore he has to know all these little details. Aber noch alle men hat sich Victor allein verklärt. But after all that, he himself, Victor started thinking differently, started to change his mind. Hat lang gezogen, die gecholjete Bord seine und der noch gepasst, also zu sagen. ihr hört ihn, allebei soll ich liegen sagen. He was for a long time picking his pampered beard, and then he issued out a verdict. He made a decision, namely, ihr hört ihn, you hear Jews, הלוואי soll ich liegen, I wish that what I'm saying is a lie. Sie ist eine abgemachte Sache zwischen Tabo und zwischen die Ganoven. It is an agreed thing between the encampment of the gypsies and those thieves that came to take the girl. Sie ist eine Nekome von Emerson Sod. This is revenge. This is a real revenge of the real kind. A maidel for a maidel. A girl for a girl. Nechama, you want to continue? Nechama?
Marcia, if it bothers you, you let me know, okay? The music? Okay, okay. Yeah, this is getting to the most horrible.
Oh, yeah.
A maidel for a maidel. Is als azoi kunzig abgearbeitet geworden, als kein Hund wird sie schon nicht ausschmecken. It was so carefully worked out that no dog could even have a smell of it. Die Zigeuner mit die Genavektel Mädel seinen Scheun weit. The gypsies with the stolen girl are already very far away. Zu viel noch jugen sich, noch sei is euch a sakona. And to go after them too much, to follow them too much is also a danger. Worum sie wollen das Kind umbringen oder sie wollen das machen für a Kalike. Because, yeah, what they're going to do is they're either going to kill her or they're going to make her a cripple. Sha. Bohre de große Eugen Tormen afilu dem ganzen Emes nicht sorgen. We can't even tell this, the whole truth, to Bora with the big eyes. Und kachave, wie men sucht a Säuerung Tag und Nacht, das Mädela, und wie men jockt sich a Säu noch dem genavischer Beuch über alle Schliachen, is a voice, a klang. So, and so it was. And as they looked day and night for the girl, and they hurried themselves and they tried after the thieves over every little path around, and all of a sudden there was a klang. How would you translate that? A shout, a sound.
A klang. There was I would say a rumor.
A rumor, a klang.
A klang is a sound, but there was a sound. It wasn't a sound of a bell. Okay. It was a rumor. There was an announcement. There was news.
There was news.
Okay.
As bei Kapost, a 12 Wiost von Schglov, haben Fischer a Reus gefischt von Dnieper, a Kerpela von a Kind. And what was this announcement, this sound? As in this place of Kapost, at 12 some kilometers or measure from Shklov, fishermen had fished out from the Dnieper a body of a child. was hat schon zu viel Fäulen in Wasser, verloren jeder menschliche Gestalt.
Gestalt.
Gestalt, yes. She was so long rotting in the water that when they fished her out, they found the body of a child who had too long been rotting in the water, and this body had lost all human attributes, Gestalt, appearance.
Gestalt is image.
Image, yeah. Leut der Leng von Körper und Leut die Jahren, according to the length and according to the of the body and according to the years, hat das aber gestimmt mit des Zuchab der Mädel. This matched with the snatched child. Älterweis ist noch der Haut von Körper geblieben ganz. In certain spots, in spite of the fact that the skin was so wrecked and putrefied by being so long in the water, in certain spots in the skin, you could, there was the geblieben, they remained whole, ganz. Und is gewein bräunlich und euch der Mund onzipken. It was brown, the skin that remained was brown. And this was reminding us of Zipke. Boren de große Eugen is a weggelaufen mit der Voll in Kopust und hat der aufgeblasenen Körper von sein Töchterl der kennt. So Bora of the big eyes ran out with a wagon to Kopost, and he identified the putative, that this was his daughter. He said, "This is my daughter."
Yeah.
This is gewein klar, als die Kinder genossen haben sich erschrocken von der Tummel, was mir hat aufgehoben über der ganzen Gegend, that the child snatchers became frightened by all of the noise and the tumult that started around the whole neighborhood. And kedei zu verwischen jedes Liach haben sie das Kind umgebracht, gelassen a Rupstrom. So what they did was, in order to sort of to wipe out all of their the sliach, all of their tracks, would you say?
Yeah, a trace.
Their trace.
Record. Yeah.
They killed her, and they let her go downstream the Dnieper. Terrible. If it was her, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, but this is they were holding on to this find as consolation that they know what happened.
That they would know what happened.
Yeah.
Is in Boris's Haus ausgebrochen a neue Klog. So now in Bora's house broke out a new problem, a new Klog, die ganze Schulgas hat aufgezittelt. The whole Schulgas was trembling. Und Moscheke hat sich von der Snai behalten in a Winkele. And Moscheke, our little hero, what did you call him? A fear? That was that word. A farfira. The farfira.
Farfira.
The farfira. Von der Snai behalten in a Winkele hinter Steres Bett und hat a ganzigen Tag Meure gehabt rauszugehen auf den Gas. And Moisheke began again to hide himself in a corner behind Shtera's bed and was afraid to, all the days was afraid to go out to show himself on the street. Moira hat mir soll zu sein Kopf nicht ausgelassen dem nahe Bruch. He was afraid that they were going to, this tragedy put out to his head again. Weil allein is schuldig, because he alone is guilty. Hat doch verfehlt Zipken hinter de Bremlach. After all, he was the one who led Zipke behind the trees. The einzige Treis was Vigdil, the famous Vigdil, the Waldsocher, hat Atzin gehat, hat Zipkes Eltern, is gewein dos. The only comfort that Vigdil, the timber merchant, now had for Zipke's parents was this: was Leut sein Meinung is es von Kind gleiche. That for the child, this was actually better. This
according to his
according to his thinking, his understanding.
unbelievable.
This was the best result that could have come out, is better. Hat den idea hat Vigdor gezählt, was die schwarze Hevra tut ob mit Kinder, was fallen sie rein in Hand. Do you have any idea? Victor, the big macher there said, what the black crowd, what they do with children that fall into their hands. Machen for a kaliker is showing ibel de unschicken ibel de hazel isn't garnished to make the child into a cripple and send the child as a beggar over the houses. That's nothing. That's nothing. Verkäufen in a silk for a draught tänzerin is garnished to sell to a circus for what is that from? Some kind of a dancer? It's
a dancer on a cable, on a wire, on a rope.
Wire. That's nothing.
In a circus, they sell dancing.
Noch ärgere Sachen. There are even more terrible things that they could have done. Mela as kein bessere Treisten seine nicht du. Is das euch a stickel treist? You know, if there's no better comfort, there's no better comfort. So this is also a little bit of comfort. Bissel weiß is der Sturm a Ribbe gegangen. Slowly, the storm, the whole horror of it passed over. Schwarz wie die Erd und verältelt vor der Zeit, hat sich Bohre de große Augen umgekehrt zu seinen Geschäften. So black as the earth and aged for his time. I mean, he did suffer a lot with this. Bora with the große Augen, he turned himself back to his business. Die Bonnen haben getrotten Flachs in der Pressmaschine. The sons again began to stamp the flax in the press machine. Stera hat gebacken lecker und alles ist dach sich weg wie gewesen. And you know, everything went back to, Stera began to bake again, and everything went back to as it was.
Business as usual, yeah.
Business as usual, business as usual. Well, boy. Nicht du Zipke verfallen. She's not here? Well, she's not here. Der einzige welcher hat sich beschum offen nicht gekannt, zugewohnen zu Zipkas is gewein Moisheke. And this is what makes it even more horrible. The only one who could in no way who could in no way get used to or accept Zipka's death was Moisheke. In sein Vorstellung hat sie gelebt, Punkt azoi wie fallen Unglück. In his imagination, she lived just as she was before the tragedy. Träumerischkeit is nicht gewähnt the Yesud von Moisheke's Natur. Dreaminess was not the basis of Moisheke's nature. Gicher gewähnt wach und flink. More likely, he would be alert, wach and nimble. Eugen offen und euren verspritzt euch alles, was kommt vor Ohomen. His nature was to be alert and nimble, with open eyes and ears open to everything that came around him. And we saw this the way he went around his neighborhood. Zu sein verhoshet und verholend hat men ihm atzin gewungen. Okay, now this line, his nature was to be alert and nimble, but to be dreamy and to be darkened, now he was forced to be that. Is that the way you read that?
I put for myself here by this line a question mark. It's not that clear. Susan, I think that verhushet and verholem is the same as verhushet. It's like synonym. It's a being dreamy is they forced him. They forced him to be dreamy because they were
what was happening
him
around him.
They were so I think he resorted to dreams
and to well, not exactly to depression, but to a dream. I'll just read a little bit more. Verjocht and vernedericht is gewein euch frie. He was hurried along. He was pushed aside and lowered. He was before. Als Hadulnik, Onastam, Unterganik gefunden. What did they say about him? Always he was the foundling, without a shtam, without the foundation, without the background. And he was found under the porch. Wer hat das obegeton? Stillerheit unter der Augen, mit der Schuschig und mit a Wunk und mit a zweideidiger Minele. So what they did, the way they did it before, they did it with a quietness, under the eyes, with a whisper and with a wink, and with a two-way like expression. They would talk about him like this. Atzind noch dem Meise mit Zipke hat men es geton befreieser. Is that how you say that word? I know what it means.
Befahesia. This is in public. This is Aramaic.
Yeah. Now that we had that, you read it last time.
Befahesia, in public. This is an Aramaic.
Now they did it right in front of his face.
Yeah.
Mamas und Schwestern in Zabulik und Schulgas haben heuch Eufenkol geworden die Kinder und Brüder sehr. So now mamas and sisters in Zabulik and in Shulgas, in full voice, they warned the children and their brothers, spiel nicht mit ihm, gehe weg von ihm, wird dich verführen wie Zipkin, Don't play with him. Go away from him. He'll lead you the way he led Zipke. Okay, now over to you. It only gets worse.
Yeah. אפילו שצ'רה ולכאות ומתום, מציינו נגל בשיץ מוישקס כובד, אותה כגן הזלכה gerechte Wohnungen gar nicht gekannt machen. Now she is helpless too against such attacks. So even Sherry, who everywhere used to protect him, to support him.
With tooth and nail. Tooth and
nail, right.
Every part of her being.
With all her, exactly. His honor, she protected his honor. Now against such just warnings, could not do anything. Because why? Because she considered them correct, right?
Right.
Das Herz kocht und allein muss sie annehmen am Mäul mit Wasser und schweigen. Her heart is boiling, but she has to like fill up her mouth with water. That means to shut up und schweigen. Yeah. Kaum, was sie der läuft sich abort zu tun zu ihr verstoßenem Ordulnik. Barely does she allow herself to grumble to her pushed out boy. Spiel sich allein, Moischenke, du darfst sie auf Kapoes. Play by yourself, Moischenke. You don't need them. How do you translate of kapores? You need them for nothing.
You need them for nothing.
Okay. Und Moscheke spielt sich allein. And Moscheke plays all by himself. Nicht ganz allein, not completely alone, no mit Zipken zusammen, but with Zipke together. This is terrible. Gefindt ihr Gestalt in dunkle Winkelach. He finds her image in dark corners. Sieht die rote Krellen auf ihr abgebrannt Hälsel. He sees the red beads on her burnt neck. He's whispering to her. He's daydreaming. Grodatzin is der Gangen in Chumash to der Parsha Vayeshev. This is terrible. So now, exactly now, he arrived in his Torah learning to the Parsha Vayeshev. And he said, and this is about the Brüder verkaufen Josef und bringen sein seidene Hemel eingetunkt in Blut. The brothers are selling Joseph, and they bring his silk garment tucked in blood. And Yaakov Avinu, that's Yankel. Yaakov Avinu, der kennt das Hemdl, Punkt wie Bore, die Größe Augen, oder kennt dem trockenem Käferl im Kopos. So Yaakov, our forefather, recognizes that garment exactly like Bore, the big eyes, recognize the drowned body in compost. and he hit his head in the ground. He hits his head in the ground exactly like they were screaming at Boris' house. Verzucht ist geworden, Joseph. Verzucht, that's devoured. Joseph was devoured. Of the person. This is what Jacob's.
It's Jacob's story.
It's Jacob's story, yeah. Jacob is screaming. Of the person, a bad animal ate him up. Klopft op a Sachzeit der alter Jacob. He sobs like this, like a long time, the old Jacob, und will sich nicht ressen. He doesn't want to be consoled. Und in derselben Zeit wird Joseph a ganzer Macher in Mitzrayim. And in that time where his father is grieving his death, Joseph really grows to become a big personality in Egypt. Die wunderliche Meister hat zugegeben an neuem Schwung und an neue Warmkeit Moschekes Chaloimes. This wonderful story gave a new push and a new warmth to Moschekes dreams. Aber Zazach can treffen mit Joseph, if such a thing could happen with Joseph, Hein was nicht mit Zivke, then why not with Zivke? Yeah, maybe she too is alive still, like Joseph was alive, even though they considered him dead. Don't it weit, inter Boris dem Beneutoyer, hat man sie schon lang beklagt, wie gepeinigte Unterdrückene. Und in der Emessen wird sie irgendwo springen, als ein ausgewachsener Basmalka von Zigeiner, mit roten Krällen und mit Bees auf dem Hals und mit der silberner Kron auf die Kutscherawe Horn. So this is what he expects to happen.
Well, he fantasizes.
He fantasizes, yeah.
He fantasizes.
Yeah, right.
He has to keep himself going.
Yeah,
He's desperate.
So here, not far from here, behind the oak door of Bore, they already were grieving her like somebody who was tortured and drowned, but in reality, she will somewhere appear like a grown-up princess of gypsies already, with red beads and coins on her throat, and with a silver crown on her curly hair. Später, אפשר ארגץ weit in Mitzrayim. Later, perhaps maybe far away in Egypt, this will happen, that she will all of a sudden appear. Alle sagen doch, Now why Egypt? Alles sagen doch, als die Zigeuner stammen von Mitzrayim. Everybody is saying that the gypsies are coming from Egypt. The roots are in Egypt. No, weil sie haben einmal gepeinigt die Juden, but because they at one time tortured the Jews, hat sie Gott verscholten und vertrieben von seinem Land. Because they tortured one time the Jews, God cursed them and he pushed them out of their land, which is Egypt. So now there's a connection between the gypsies and Egypt. This is all fantasy of Moshe.
Yeah. He tries to console himself.
Yeah. This
Has
writer
very
is something. Therefore, was die jüdische Weiblach losen nicht, als Moscheke soll spielen mit ihre Kinder, wird noch einmal im Sklov ausbrechen a größer Hunger. And, this is his hope, that because the Jewish women are not allowing Moshe will play with their children because of that, in his neighborhood, there will be great hunger because of the neighborhood will get punished because of the way they're treating him.
The whole Shklov, in Shklov,
The whole
in the
Shklov,
whole town, the whole Shklov.
Yeah. Then, wird auffahren mit der jüdischen Gole und mit der jüdischen Beut, gleich kein Mitzrayim rein aufzukäufen zu wollen. Then he'll travel with the Jewish carriage driver and with a Jewish carriage right into Egypt in order to buy wheat. Wird ihm dort Zivke da kennen, so Zivke will recognize him there all in Egypt und machen an Unstell, als sie weiß nicht, wer ist und von wann kommt. And she will pretend that she doesn't know who he is and where from he's coming. She'll pretend. Sie wird ihm noch kunzig ausfragen wegen der Heim. She will cunningly ask him, interrogate him about home, wegen Zavulek, about Zavulek, und wegen der Schulgas, and about the synagogue street. Exactly the story of Joseph. No, Biskel so wird sie nicht äußern, but she won't be able to hold off till the end. Plötzlich und inmitten derinnen wird sie immer auffallen auf den Hals und wird sich zu weinen hoch auf den Kohl. And all of a sudden, in the middle of all that, she will fall over his. She will fall all over him, and burst into crying loudly. Ich bin Zivke, I am Zivke. Sie lebt noch der Tate meiner, bohre die große Augen. I am Zivke. She identifies herself. Does my father, boy with the big eyes, is he still alive? Sie backt noch, give dein Vater lecker in Zavulek. Does your uncle, the Vetter, Kive, doesn't say father, Vetter, uncle, does he still bake cake in Zavulek? All this comes in his imagination. That's what she is asking him. Veter Moisheke auflosen den Kopf und wird sich zu weinen. Then he Moisheke will lower his head and he'll start crying. Und das Herz wird ihm klappen, Punkt, so wie Itzter, trachten dich wegen dem. And then when this happens, his heart will beat exactly like it is beating now when he's thinking about all that. Es klappt ihm also stark, als muss öffnen das Maul, כדי zu haben dem Atem. His heart is beating so fast, or so strongly, that he must open his mouth to catch his, in order to catch his breath. You.
Und nicht nur in seine Träume rein, and not just in his, I think it's in his daydreams, daydreams.
Yeah, right.
Afilu oifen vol, der zet sie, wenn nicht wenn. And not just in his daydreams, but even in reality, he sees her there and now and again. Would you say it that way? Wenn nicht wenn?
From time to time.
From time to time. In Ekschulgas, was verkehrt sich auf de Orsche Bremlach, in the end of the Schulgas, which turns into the Orsche trees. There shines wenn nicht in a gekreulster Keppel von a Mädele und a reutlicher Farb von a Kleidele tut dorten a Schimmel. So this is what he sometimes sees, these images where the Schulgas turns into the trees, and he sees a curly head from a girl and the red color from a dress, and it gives a shimmer there, a light. Chapt Moisheke loifen il akegen, and Moisheke begins to run to this image. Koim, koim, was hält sich ein, euch zu schreien über der ganze Gas. Seht, ot geht sie doch, Zipke. And he can barely hold himself back from calling over the whole street. You see, she's going there. Zipka's there. Nur noch etlicher Sprungtritt. Sie geht der Zäubel wie a Räuch. But after just a few springs, the vision disappears like a wisp of smoke. Von Zipken Welt go fremde Mädler. From outside, instead of seeing this image of, instead of seeing Zipka, it's only a strange girl. A mechoret.
Mechoeret.
An ugly girl. An ugly girl.
Yeah.
An ugly girl. Ugly girl. Nit kein rote krullen, without those amazing red beads. Nit kein abgebrannt Hälsel, without that sunburned throat. Lost Moisheken arob dem Kopf und schleppt sich zurück aheim mit a Pustkeit in Herzen. So now the vision is gone. What he sees, instead of Zipka, he sees this ugly girl without the beads and without the sunburned throat. He puts his head down and he drags himself back with the emptiness in his heart. Im Dorsich, as Orkosht haben sie die Zigeuner zugehabt. It seems to him that just now the Zigeuner took him. Und muss amol in a novena, and he must now amol in a novena.
Amol in a novena. That's
in a novena.
Once in a long time.
Once, very rarely. Once
very
in a long
rarely,
time.
yeah.
abgeben Din v'cheshbon, verborgen mit de Bonim, und verstam Jiden mit Beeld, und mit Bezer Tabaknezel. That it seems to him that once in a great while, he must give, it's like is it saying that he has to say, you are wrong, you people are wrong, Bora with the Bonim, and also Jews with their beards and with their bad tobacco fingers. Moishe ke Mamzer, wo ist Zipke? Was hast du getan mit Zipken? Wo ist Zipke hingekommen? And what are they saying to him? Moisheke, you mamzer. Where is Zipke? What did you do with Zipke? Where did you lead her to? What did you take her to? What? So
and he feels he will have to account to them. He feels responsible, guilt.
So he feels like he has to do din v'cheshbon to them.
Yeah, to them. He has to account to them as to what happened. He feels responsible for
these terrible people. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So just a little, we should read just a little bit more.
No.
No. One more paragraph, just one more paragraph, because it's just one more paragraph. We'll read just a little bit more, then we'll stop.
You have to go to sleep.
No, come on, one more paragraph.
Okay.
Verschwunden Zipke wie a mess. You say mess, a mess.
Mess, a mess. Hebrew met and Yiddish mess. Yeah.
Vergessen geworden von Herzen, und die Welt fühlt sich wie bisher. So Zipka disappeared like a dead person, and she's forgotten from the hearts, and the world goes forward. The world goes forward. Der Winter ist weg und der Sommer ist gekommen. The winter went away. Remember, this all happened sort of as we were getting into the winter, and now the summer is here. In Mark hat man aufgehört zu reden wegen die Zigeuner. In the market, they stopped talking about the gypsies. Und in the Beis HaMidrash redlich, zwischen Mincha and Mariv, euch. And also in the shul, in the shuls, in the circles between Mincha and Mariv.
No, redlach is not such. Redlach is like conversations from reden.
Oh, in the conversations.
Okay.
Thank you. In the conversations, also, it's gone. Die Bonim von Bore de große Eugen treten sehr flachs wie früher, und Zipkas Mama geht mit der Koschek in Mark. Boris's sons, they are now stamping on the flax, as they did earlier. And Zipka's mama, she goes to the market with the basket. Als wie gewesen, everything as it was. Wie Farb, was ist ausgesetzt dem Regen und Wind, also nutzt sich aus dem menschlichen Zichone. Okay, Zikoren. Okay, this sentence. As colorful as it appeared the rain and the wind, so it was used in the human memory. No,
sorry,
no. No, tell me.
Just like paint or color that disappears, that
in the rain and the wind.
The rain and the wind. So just like that, just like the color disappears, so does human memory.
Human memory. Oh my God. Alle Couleuren werden schwacher mit der Zeit. All the colors become weaker with the time. Nur ein Sach wird nicht aufgewacht. Abgeschwacht in Boris's Haus. But everything became weaker. But one thing did not become weaker in Boris's house. Der Sina zu Moshike's Kiva, zu Moshike Kivas. The hatred for Kiva's Moshike.
Yeah.
Lost men im nit ahoy. They don't let him over the threshold. Afilu doch beltele in demberen teuer, tor nit gucken wie die Pressmaschine arbeit. Even they don't let him over the tread there.
The spalt is like a crack. They don't even let him look through a crack
a crack in the oak gate. They don't let him, the way the machine works.
Yeah.
Wie nur de bonim der schmecken him, if they even smell him, springt men erop von der Maschine und men jogt him wie a fox von a katoch. When they smell him, they spring out of the machines and hurry him away like he was a fox in a hen house.
Yeah.
Afilu boha de große Eugen allein, was so dacht sich, is a stiller. Am Yoshev dicker Jid, nur sind der Unglück mit Zipkin, kon de Mamse nicht angucken. Afilu the father, Bora, who you think of as a quiet, thoughtful Jew, since the tragedy with Sipka, he can't even look at the Mamzer. Allah haben vergessen wie a koim 9-jähriger Jingel. Everybody has forgotten where he, a barely 9-year-old boy, hat sich gestellt in Sakona, noch zu jagen dem antronenem zigeunischer Wogen. They have all forgotten how he, this barely 9-year-old boy, had put himself in danger and ran after the Zigeuner's wagon today zu retten das Kind, in order to save the child. Alle haben vergessen die gefährliche Schmitz. Everybody has forgotten the terrible strike, was hat mit der schweren Beitsch bekommen über den Hals und Nacken. The terrible wound that he got with the whip that he got over his neck and his
Schmitz
throat.
is like a punch.
The punch. And remember how badly he was hurt. It's the blutige nose, the bloody nose. Men der kennt nur as Moisheke, is wie a Nassenjud noch
A Gassenjung.
Good. In Shabbos allein, noch der Katharinke und a Säuerung verfehlt Zipkin hinteren Stutt. They only remember that he, Moisheke, in the like a street child, ran when in Shabbos Arayin, just as the time of Shabbos, and after the organ, and he led Zipke behind the town. Geh, nee, azoi schreit euch ihm und bohre de große Eugen, wie noch der Zettim. Moisheke wart mit euch kavod und läuft. So when they see him, they scream no, and they run after him, and he doesn't wait for any sort of an honor, and he runs away.
Great, thank you. No more.
Where he is. No more. No, it's too hard to read. There's a lump in the throat.
No.